Hi everyone. I'm back, and if you can see me, do me a favor and give me just give me a heart or a thumbs up. We lost internet, lost Wi-Fi here. We're having it's really windy, and as I often say, I live in the country. I live in a small town, and it's the wind may have interrupted the internet connection, so it's too bad. If you're back and you can see me, do me a favor. Thank you, Sarah. Okay, great. So we're here. So what I'll do at the end of this is I'll make sure that I post both of the Facebook Lives so that, I'll make sure, as a matter of fact, let me see. Hold on 1 second. Hopefully, I'm hoping that I'll be able to post both of the lives. We'll see if it stays up there. But anyways, so what I was saying, yeah, send me calm air, because the wind is what I think is messing with the wireless connection. Thank you. So what I was saying is just how important it is right now to take good care of yourself, to really limit the news, to limit conversations with people who are really invested in drama. You want to do what you can to just not engage in conversations about the craziness that's going on. Pick and choose where you're going to get your news from. And, I would say to you, what I would say to anybody, if I were working with an individual that was really challenged in their life personally, dwelling on what isn't working doesn't serve anybody, right? It's really about raising our energy, raising our level of thought, being kind to one another, being kind to ourselves, and doing our best to recognize, thank you, Lisa, doing our best to recognize that our thinking is going to really impact our mood, our emotions, our interactions with others. So that's why I say, and I know I was finishing the last video talking about the importance of limiting time with people who engage in drama for sport. The whole idea is to just keep your energy up, to keep your vibration up, to be focused on what's working, what you can do to support people. It's why I started posting here on Facebook about praying for rain in Australia, or for the highest and best conditions for Australia. That happened because I happened to turn on my computer and just saw these horrific photos and videos of people's homes burning and animals in fires. And I felt so helpless and so traumatized by it. And I immediately said, okay, what can I do right now to support people? What can I do right now? And that's why sorry, somebody's communicating with me. Hold on just 1 second. I'm assuming you all, Terry, do me a favor and just let me know that you can see me, because I'm getting messages here that people can't see me. Hang on, folks. Okay. So, as I said, I was, I woke up, I was upset, so I went ahead and I just started posting, asking people to pray and visualize and holding the intention of the fire subsiding and rain falling on Australia and the surrounding territories. And people started engaging, and people started doing that. We started to get reports of rain. Now, I've done this for about 20 years. When people have been struggling in different parts of the country or the world, I've gone online and asked people to join with me to visualize what was needed. And I've seen it work before, and I believe in it. And so that's something that we can do, along with donating money. Puerto Rico needs our support. So many places need our support. The Red Cross does a good job of, running a system that is working 24/7 all year long in spite of what's going on in the world. And so, yes, they have administrative costs. Everybody talks about that, but you have to have administrative costs if you're going to run a giant organization. And when in doubt, they're usually a safe bet for supporting people. I've also posted local, more direct places to donate in Australia. But my point is this: yes, it's a challenging time on the planet. Yes, we're experiencing the demise of patriarchy, power over. Yes, we're going to have to find a more collaborative way of working together. And I want to say that 95% of my audience are women, and we need more women in positions of power, decision makers. We are the largest body of voters, for example, in the United States. And I don't care whether you're a Democrat or Republican. I don't look at sides. The feminine way of operating, I don't mean female, I'm just talking about feminine and masculine. The feminine way of operating doesn't choose sides. It looks for collaboration, compassion, wisdom, is relationship oriented, acknowledges feelings, doesn't just use the head, uses the heart and the body, the intuition to make choices. And the way we begin to shift from this male-dominated way of operating in the world to a more balanced, egalitarian way is for individual women in particular to start looking at how they are living more empowered lives in their own individual day-to-day lives. Are you speaking up for yourself? Are you taking a stand for other people? Are you making your financial health a priority so you feel like you have choices and power? Are you supporting other women? Are you getting educated about what's going on the planet? There's so much talk, for example, about climate change. Is it real? Is it not real? That whole conversation about whether or not it's real is just a huge distraction from the reality that our planet is not being well taken care of. And, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to know that when you look at most trash containers at local stores that are mixed with rubbish and glass and plastic, do you ever stop and ask yourself, where's all that stuff going to? Like, do we have endless space on this planet to just dump our crap everywhere? Of course not. Are our waters polluted? Yes. We have a local river here near where I live that gets sewage overflow every time there's a storm, and people swim in that river in the summertime. So I don't get caught up in that. Is climate change real or not? That's not the point. The point is, what are we doing to take a stand for ourselves, our family, our communities, to take better care of the planet? Do you use chemicals on your lawn? You might want to stop doing that because that goes into our water supply. What are some of the things that you can do to work more in concert with Mother Nature, as an example? As women, we're the number one consumers. We make most decisions about healthcare, the running of the home, what our families eat, what we wear, how we live. We have enormous power that we don't fully own. And we've reached a point on the planet where if women don't start owning their power and taking this seriously, we're going to have trouble. We already have trouble, but it's going to get worse. So I don't want to say that to scare you, because fear doesn't serve anybody, that's for sure. But I do say that because every single day in your individual life, you are faced with choices to stand up for yourself, to use your voice, to speak up, to not put up with the crap you've been putting up with, to question what you're being told, what you see on the news, what you read online, in newspapers, in magazines, in books, to question things. You're being given opportunities to educate yourself. We need smart, empowered, educated women to get more and more involved in our political system, our educational system, our religious organizations, in the media. We need, and it all starts at home. If you can't stand up to your partner, you're going to have a hard time standing up to other people. If you can't take a stand for a colleague who's not being treated well, chances are someone's not going to take a stand for you either. If you can't tell somebody, hey, you just cut in front of me in line, how are you going to be able to set a boundary when it becomes a bigger issue in your community? When someone's taking advantage of people in the community or not providing you with the resources you need. And if you don't have accounts of your own, If you're not educated about money, if you don't know what's happening with you or your spouse's retirement plan or investments, how do you expect to ever truly have choices in life when you don't know where you stand financially and you're not taking care of yourself financially? These things are important. And these are probably more of the things you'll hear me talk about as this year goes on. Why? Because I care about the planet and I care about you. I care about humanity. These are humanitarian conversations. They're not black or white or red or blue or me or you or, they're just not, they're not black and white issues. Do you know what I mean? Like they're not, there's gray. There's a whole gray area that we have to learn to dance in together. And I also do want to say too, in the self-help movement about, well, I'll speak for myself in terms of my audiences and my readers. I would say I'm fortunate, probably 20% of my audiences are men, and I celebrate them every time I see them because we need more men checking under the hood, their own hood, and doing their work. But we don't have enough men. Like I said, I think they say 95% of women buy self-help books. I'm sure they share them with the men in their lives. And I've got wonderful men in my life. I know some of you are on here tonight. We need more men involved in this process, in this self-reflective process. We need to support each other in developing emotional intelligence, sensitivity for how we come across, compassion for one another, and moving out of this black and white thinking, which is just completely, it's a part of that power over patriarchal structure that's in the process of dying out. And it probably won't in my lifetime, which pisses me off, but I'll come back. But we do need to contribute to a more egalitarian way of living. And that starts with you in your own life. And I just hope to empower you this year to make choices that really honor you and not put up with bullshit. Just stop doing that. With women especially, you need to stop doing it. Stop being the good girl. Stop avoiding conflict. Stop letting people treat you like crap. Be compassionate and gracious in the way you stand up for yourself, for sure. I think that's important. And will you make mistakes and be bitchy? Yeah, you will risk doing that anyway. But we need more empowered women. Okay, I'm going to get off my soapbox now. My very important soapbox. I'm glad you all can see me. I'm going to go through and look at your comments. Hi, Liz from Australia. Lisa Neptune says, watch The Kindness Diaries Season 1 on Prime, Season 2 on Netflix. A very uplifting show showing good in the world. Makes you believe in good again. Yeah, surround yourself with those things. I'm a subscriber to Optimist Daily, and I love their website. I love their emails. I get their emails every single day with good news in the world. If you're gonna pay attention to any news, please pay attention to that news. All right. Yes, Kathy says she's telling her daughter, that as girls and women, we have a responsibility to be empowered and to stand up for our rights. I was just at my Grammys. It was just my Grammys generation that didn't have these rights. That's right. It's not that long ago that women didn't have any rights. We're still just learning what to do with them. But please, God, we need to learn what to do with them. Great. Thank you, everybody. I'm glad that, yes, I will be encouraging you in 2020. That's for sure. Thank you. Christine says, the art of extreme self-care changed my entire perspective of life. Thank you for what you did. You're welcome, Christine. And the art of extreme self-care is a really great manual for learning to speak up, find your voice, stop tolerating feeling deprived all the time, embracing your anger and putting it to good use. That's what that book is all about. I recently published a revised edition, and when I went through that book to edit it, I put in all new resources and a whole new section on support groups. And I have to say, when I was reading through that book, I thought, there's not a lot here that I would say differently. It's a really good manual for taking good care of yourself, becoming empowered, and becoming a gutsy woman, which is what I'm really ultimately talking about. All right. So anyway, I know it's almost 7 o'clock. I know at least this Facebook Live will go through. I don't know if the other one will, but I feel like I've covered a lot of what I wanted to say on here. And I'll look forward to being with you more in the new year. And just looking through here. And so just remember what I said. No more news, no more electronics in the bedroom. Get an old-fashioned alarm clock. Stop engaging with people who, fuel themselves with drama. Get off social media if it's traumatizing you or frustrating you or raising your cortisol levels. Take care of your body. We are wiser when we're not under stress, when we're not in fight, flight, or freeze mode. Look for ways to speak up for yourself. Look for ways to empower yourself. I know you know right now, if I ask you to stop and think about one place in your life where you're tolerating bullshit, stop and think about that. Where are you tolerating something in your life? Not being treated properly, not being respected, not being treated with compassion, not being valued for what you know and what you contribute, not being appreciated in that way. Think of one area where you need to do something to change that. One little act of self-care in the form of rebellion, compassionate and gracious rebellion, where you say, no, it's not okay for you to speak to me that way. Or, hey, you need to appreciate what I do for you, or do it yourself. Or, it's time for me to be better compensated for all that I do, whatever it might be. Or, let me get educated about civics, about the political system. Let me get educated about the environment, climate. I don't even want to say climate change anymore. To me, it's let me get educated about helping to heal the earth. Let me get educated about my community and what it needs. These are all the things that you can do right away. Every little thing you do to empower yourself builds on itself. And over time, before you know it, you're going to feel stronger, gutsier, more empowered. It's going to be a lot easier to speak up for yourself, and it's going to get easier to speak up about the bigger things, because you won't be as afraid. And also, we need to support one another. It's what I'm trying to do here with you. I'm trying to inspire you to take a risk, to be more courageous, to be willing to make mistakes. So you say something and you're bitchy about it, or you're not that gracious. You can always apologize and do better the next time. These things are important. That's what we need right now more than ever. Yeah, I'm just looking at your, Julie says, no more news. I got an analog clock staying off my phone. Good for you, girl. We need to go back to the old days, right? All right. All right, everybody. Well, listen, I'm going to, Dejana says, please read. I was amazed how you called everyone to pray and rain started. Coincidence or not, but I want to ask you to put my friend's name in your prayer book. I remember you had it. Yes, I do, sweetheart. I have it right here. She is currently very sick, fighting for her life. I need people to pray for a miracle. Her name is Milana. Well, I'm putting Milana in the book right now, my dear. And I recently saw, by the way, I saw the beautiful movie. There we go, Milana. I'm going to put you in there too, Dejana. I hope I'm saying your name right. I recently saw the movie with Tom Hanks about Mr. Rogers. It's a Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood. It's a really, really beautiful movie. And I was struck by one moment in the movie when Tom Hanks, playing Mr. Rogers, at night he would get on his knees before bed and pray. And he would pray for people that he met throughout the day that he heard were in need. And boy, I'll tell you, it just was one of those moments that brought tears to my eyes. And I thought about my red book, my red prayer book right here. And I thought, I'm going to take this into my bedroom with me. And at night, before I go to bed, I'm going to stop and just, I've got a lot of names in here. It would take me a long time to go through it, but I am going to just hold this book and ask God, ask the universe, the creator, to just please bless everybody in it. Sometimes I put myself in it too. and I put friends and family. And sometimes I just say my whole Facebook community or my whole Instagram community. These things matter. They're powerful ways of caring for one another, and they certainly make me feel better and more empowered as we go through a really challenging time right now. So anyway, all right, everybody, I'm going to let you go. Thank you. I love that people are saying they've bought clocks. It's really great. Thank you for being here with me. Thank you for putting up with the Facebook Live going south early on, shutting off. It was the wind, which sounds like it's died down. And for those of you that visualized or held the intention of the winds calming, thank you. It worked. See how powerful you are? You really are that powerful. We all are. Holding loving intentions for one another, being kind, and being a lioness is what's going to change the planet. Okay. Sending you all lots of love. And Puerto Rico and Australia, you're in my heart and in my book and in my prayers. All of you are. Okay. Have a great night. And yes, make sure you're subscribed to my newsletter. I'll put a link in the post up here because that's where I announce when I'm doing these Facebook Lives. All right. Thanks for joining me, everybody. Lots of love to you. And thank you for all the hearts. Bye.